Howdy, my name's Tom. Today's February 17th, 2025, and I thought I would just do my own little version of a video essay on what I'm looking forward to over the next couple of weeks, months, years, who knows. Um, I'm scheduled to have spinal fusion surgery on next Monday, the 24th, having it in Erie, Pennsylvania. And I have tortured myself by watching a lot of videos presented by as myself have started off their experiences by doing a little presentation on how they were before their surgery and then moving forward to post-surgery and then through the months of recovery. Uh, the most favorable video I've seen so far is one where a fellow reported on his progress after 2.5 years. I was impressed with his recovery, but there's always something. In that case, the fellow talked a little bit about the physical therapy and maybe pacing yourself before you start doing a lot of aggressive physical therapy. Kind of reminds me of what happened to my mother. I always say she had 13 back operations. I don't know how many she had in total, but she had a lot. Suffered a broken back due to a work-related injury when she was teaching elementary school. Funny story, maybe I'll share it sometime if there's any interest. The sad part was that her first surgery failed, and then after that failure, she had to have the second surgery to repair the failure of the first, and then eventually she had problems with scar tissue. She had problems with the cage moving, had to have the cage removed, had to have another cage put in, had to have that removed, and it was a long, difficult process from which she never received complete or even substantial relief from her pain symptoms. Because of her experience, I'm probably extremely reluctant to go through this myself. I know when I first heard my diagnosis, I'd had back problems for years. When I first heard the diagnosis, I was kind of encouraged. It's like, great, I have, severe spinal stenosis. It's severe, but at least it's spinal stenosis. And the doctor kind of looked at me dumbfounded and says, do you know what stenosis is? And apparently I had not done any research on it. The my course of trying to get through and manage my pain symptoms has taken quite some time. I've had a lifetime of physical abuse to my body. I always loved riding dirt bikes, big dirt bikes, doing lots of exciting things. I would tell my friends that if you haven't dumped your bike at least once during your outing, then you weren't pushing yourself to the edge. I also love to freestyle ski. Had a ski center less than 15 miles from my home, and I loved to run through the boggles. I was probably not very bright then, and probably not very bright now, as you will see shortly as I continue to prattle on. But one of the things I did early on with my skis is I picked up a set of kids skis, the shortest skis possible, and then no matter how I tried to adjust the tension on the bindings, they would always release. So I welded them together so that they wouldn't release. And I would use those short skis to do my tricks and different things, and it did a lot of crashing, but always spun around, ended up on my butt, going through moguls on my rear end, bouncing over things. So I can't imagine how I possibly hurt my back. The last major motorcycle accident I had was jumping off my bike at 70 miles an hour with kind of some obvious injuries that then ensued. Walking 2 miles after that accident while holding one of my the only arm that functioned actually, on an arterial bleed to keep from bleeding to death. Made it out to a highway, just an old dirt road. Had walked towards the hospital. Finally a car came up. I had to wave the car down, and when I did so I had to relieve the pressure on my arterial bleed, and the blood went spurting out. and fortunately the guy gave me a ride in his car anyway. So, you know, kind of torturized, as my granddaughter will say, my body for a number of years, so I shouldn't be very surprised that I have problems now. I was interested to find out from the spine surgeon, who essentially said, I won't put words in his mouth, but all of those things had nothing to do with the problems I'm having today, that the severe spinal stenosis is something that comes with age. I am 69 years old and had hoped to always avoid having surgery. I would frequent chiropractors. I have the greatest degree of faith and confidence for chiropractors and the services they provide. I went to a couple of pain management folks, had all of the requisite x-rays, MRIs, bone density scans, things like that. Tried in every way possible to avoid having to have surgery. Thought I might be a candidate for a minimally invasive surgery. After I had a series of 3 steroid injections in my back, I was referred to a surgeon